strap in and get ready for After Hours with TC Restani. This is Abigail Harwich, executive producer, welcoming you to the show. And now, TC Restani!
Alrighty, welcome to the After Hours of TC Restani, the podcast, emanating from the palatial podcast penthouse. I am TC Restani, your host, along with my esteemed entourage of experts going around the dais here. We got the #1 celebrity autograph collector in the world, Mr. South Boston Jeff.
Hey, what's happening, folks? Great to be here, feeling great, and hope you are too.
We have the milkman himself, Quincy Briscoe.
And how you doing tonight?
Unbelievable. And of course, my mentor and the host of Ricky Bittman's Jukebox, exclusively on Spotify, Mr. Ricky Bittman.
Hello, sailor.
And later on during the program, I come to find out that we're going to be joined once again by Colonel Bull Montana.
I'm out of here. Goodbye.
He's gone through a little, what's that training? The anger training.
Anger management?
Anger management. There you go. I knew you would know that because it's a Jack Nicholson movie.
Right,
Which
right.
also starred the amazingly awesome...
Adam Sandler.
No, not Adam Sandler.
Heather Graham?
No, Krista Allen.
Oh, yeah. She played one of those porno sisters.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She was fine, yeah.
Unbelievable. All
Didn't
right.
she?
Lost in
Oh,
Space.
Emmanuel in Space, right?
Oh, God, do I love Emmanuel in Space. And she also played the second Billy on Days of Our Lives.
Oh, wow.
That I
That's
never
going
saw.
back a few.
Well, obviously, Emmanuel in Space. That's a podcast in itself right there.
Yeah, we should watch that up
Isn't
here.
that Roger Corman?
Probably, yeah, probably.
It is, yeah.
Oh, it was fantastic.
Cut corners, Corman.
If you don't know who Krista Allen is, look her up. All right, boys, what are we talking about here on the big program this evening?
Jeff? We were talking about the bodyguards earlier.
Oh, yeah. Well, because we were talking about Bull and about bodyguards in general. But, I hope Aunt Petunia is paying him better there because actually he used to be my bodyguard when I was back in high school.
Really?
Wow.
Well, yeah, but things were a lot cheaper back then because it was only $1 a day. Plus, I did my homework for him. I did his homework for him. I'm pretty smart.
You went to, so basically, you went to school with Bull?
No, I didn't say I didn't say he was in the school. I said he was my bodyguard while he was in school.
But you just said you did his homework.
He's got a great idea.
No, I did.
You heard that too? What is that? What is that little jingling noise? What do you have, wind chimes or something? What is that?
Oh, that don't worry. That's my brother giving me a blessing from heaven. That's my cell phone, which I'm turning off. Actually.
Okay. Well, there you
Yeah,
go.
that's a good idea.
Every time a bell rings,
An angel gets its wings. If you don't mind.
But he was the Bull went to Everett High, I believe. So
Really?
I'm sure he was kept back and everything. But
multiple times. If you went to school,
If you don't mind, after you do your two, there's another show that reminds me. A big celebrity was a bodyguard. But do yours first, then I'll tell you about mine later.
maybe we'll go around.
I'm not doing any. I'm not doing a sticker or anything. I'm just filling in about the Bull back in his bodyguard days.
Right. But Bull was a bodyguard for Aunt Petunia. For those of you just tuning in case you missed it last week, Colonel Bull Montana became a bodyguard for Aunt Petunia. He pushed our good friend Ricky Bittman. He
Very hard.
Shoved some kid because he was looking for an autograph. And he was Jeff's bodyguard back many, many, many moons ago where he cost $1 a day.
Yeah, but I had to fire him because he threw some kid's tough bike into El Pond.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
that's not good.
That's not good for the bike. No, it isn't.
So, all right, so we'll go around the panel here since we're talking about bodyguards. Who's your favorite bodyguard, Quincy?
Well, this is maybe written as a true story. There's an old school TV show, Silver Spoons.
Yeah.
Okay, and Ricky
Schroeder.
Yeah, Ricky Schroeder was having trouble, so the father hires the very best bodyguard one could ever ask for.
And who could that be?
I take the bullet. When there's a gun, I take the bullet. When there's a knife, I take the blade. The food in that cafeteria stinks.
Ooh, I think you're talking about the Mr. T himself.
That's correct.
Oh man,
I forgot about that episode. I remember that now.
No, that's your favorite bodyguard.
Well, Wasn't that a classical
Yeah, it is because back in the early '80s, around the time maybe 1984, after Mr. T appeared in Rocky III, he appeared in a Bodyguard and a lot of good kiddie things. Because I remember an episode of Alvin and the Chipmunks where they were getting bullied. And they sought Mr. T's they sought Mr. T's help to stand up against the bullies.
Well, he was a bodyguard in real life prior to becoming Mr. T.
Yeah.
Oh, I never knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. So bodyguard to the celebrities.
Well, I can remember when they did a talk show with good old Mr. T, and then he said, well, I will be a bodyguard for somebody, but they really have to be my friend, okay? But I will protect them, and he's good at that,
Now, you know who was probably the most famous bodyguard that I know was Bodyguard Virgil of the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. But when you think about it, he never did his job because DiBiase would always get beat up in the ring.
Always. Yeah. The Virgil was very lax.
I mean, Virgil, he was good at handing out the hundreds and whatnot, but he was the bodyguard for the $1 Million Man who was competing in the ring and got beat up by Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, and the list goes on and on.
Yeah.
So he never did his job.
Never.
I mean, the only time I can remember him doing his job was in the 1989 Royal Rumble when it came down to Big John Studd and Ted DiBiase, and Big John Studd won by throwing out Ted DiBiase. Then Bodyguard Virgil ran in the ring, trying to do his job, but a little too late.
A little too late. A day late and a dollar short.
Yeah. So who's your favorite bodyguard?
My favorite bodyguard would have to be Red West, Elvis Presley's bodyguard.
Red West.
Red West,
Yeah.
huh?
Wasn't he in the movie we talked about last week, Angel City?
No, you're thinking of Ralph Waite.
No, Red West.
Red West is in it?
Part of the Memphis Mafia.
Jesus,
You're talking about the guy who owned the
All right, now again, I glossed through that because I wanted to see.
But see if it's the same actor, the guy who owned the auto parts store in Roadhouse.
Yes.
Then he was in Angel
I
City.
didn't know that.
He played one of the scumbag, body. He was a bodyguard.
Jeez, I wonder when that movie came out. That movie came out in what?
80.
Okay, so Elvis has only been dead for a few years.
Right.
Wow.
So you learned
I didn't know that.
You learned something new. I think his name was Suds.
Suds. I like that.
Suds?
Yeah.
Now, the famous story, how he and Elvis Presley became friends.
Right.
Elvis was in the boys' bathroom at Humes High in Memphis, Tennessee high school, and Elvis had very long hair. And one day he was in there, and a bunch of the crew cut athletes came in, and they said, we're going to give you a haircut. So they had Elvis up against the wall, and they had the shears ready to start cutting Elvis's hair. And Red West burst in, and he said, if you're going to cut his hair, you're going to have to cut mine first. And nobody screwed with Red, so they all backed off.
So was this pre-Beatles hair?
Oh, yeah, a long time. Yeah, this is 1954. Probably.
May I ask, how come there was a jealousy going on in those days?
Probably. I mean, but Elvis didn't, he didn't paint a picture like everybody else during the day. He did something a little different. He wore outlandish clothes, and he grew his hair long, the way he said, in the style of truck drivers. He liked to have his hair long. But back then, everyone had crew cuts.
Well, I can understand that. Crew cuts.
And he didn't have a crew cut when he went in the Army.
No, but they did give him a military cut.
So it was like the haircut in Police Academy.
Yeah, it was pretty short, though. I mean, the first haircut he got. After that, it was all bets were off.
They didn't care.
No, they weren't going to screw it up.
Elvis was in their platoon. They were
That's right,
all excited.
And he did serve. He served his full
Now,
term.
speaking of Elvis, you're a huge fan of Elvis Presley.
Absolutely.
Priscilla Presley, his ex-wife. Why is she so famous? All she did was bang Elvis.
It's like when you walk into a place that you're not supposed to be, they say, just pretend like you're there. You're supposed to be there. Pretend like you own the place. I think that's what she's been doing her whole life. She pretends like she's famous, and people treat her like she's famous.
Well, doesn't she own the Empire now that Lisa Marie's gone?
Well, I think the Empire was sold to a British company many years ago, but they sort of oversee it. And they have control over it. In other words, Lisa maintained a residence there. She could live there when she wanted to.
Graceland.
Yes, she could go back. She took her family there and celebrated the holidays there. That was her tradition. But, Priscilla really is just famous for being his wife, who ended up walking out on him.
And playing Frank Drebin's wife on the police squad movies.
That's true too. Yeah,
I mean, if she wasn't married, if she was never married to Elvis, that's how I'd know her from. She did 3 of the movies and everything.
But if she wasn't married to Elvis, she wouldn't have been in those movies.
that's probably true.
Probably true. Yeah.
She'd be working at a Waffle House in Memphis somewhere.
Yeah, still.
I concur.
You can. Well, I'm sorry, Jeff, but it's the truth.
Concur means agree.
He did.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
he's
there you
agreeing
go.
with you.
I concur.
Well, you were in high school all those years with Bull, so you learned more than I did.
But my favorite, I think my favorite bodyguard, Quincy's very familiar with him. Milt.
Yes.
This being Milt, bachelor pal.
Pretty heavy, dude.
Pretty heavy hit. Well, like I don't know what the pimp's that pimp's name was, but
He looked like Gandhi.
he did
Just being
indeed.
Milt.
Indeed,
Pretty heavy, dude.
but I think Milt was more than a bodyguard. He was just a thug or a goon. Yeah, he did.
I'm lost on this one. I don't know.
All right,
Well,
so I can translate Quincy
Okay,
and Jeff
thank you,
over here.
thank you.
In the movie Bachelor Party, which came out in 1984
Oh,
with
man.
Tom Hanks,
Classic, yep.
they had to go to a pimp to get the hookers for the
Yeah.
bachelor party, and they went. the little guy Gary went down an alleyway and he met a pimp that looked just like Gandhi.
Okay.
and he goes,
I
"Girls,
just bit my balls and shook on it.
girls back in 45 minutes, or Milt comes looking for them." And Milt was this 7 foot something giant haystack Calhoun looking guy.
yeah, he was a big biker looking guy from the south. Yeah.
Now I remember this movie. Okay.
So that's a good bodyguard, Milt.
Yeah. You guys are the hookers, right? Yeah. That was his
Of
only
course.
one.
Yeah, well, hookers.
But yeah, Milt was a pretty big guy. And he can also be seen in the original Hills Have Eyes.
Ah.
Yeah, like the two bikers. One was the Chronic from Cuckoo's Nest. The
Okay,
other,
oh,
yeah,
boy,
the
yeah.
other one was Milt.
Michael Berryman
Yeah. That's
was
him.
the Chronic
Famous
from Cooper's
face.
Nest. Wow,
It's been Milt.
there you go. What, 11 minutes in, and we've had so many references. Elvis, Milt.
Maters.
You were also talking about another one, a classical musical. Was it The Bodyguard? And I guess the reason how come that movie was so good, because Whitney Houston sang a lot of good songs. So tell me, what do you like about that Bodyguard?
I don't think this is in Jeff's rotation.
Well, I'm not going to break into a Whitney Houston song, and I'm not that big a Kevin Costner fan.
Well,
I think he's Kevin Costner is one of the most useless actors there is.
Well-
Hold on, I like The Perfect World. That was when he played.
was a good movie.
Yeah, that was when he played.
Who's worse, Costner or Clooney?
I like Clooney a lot
do?
more.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
that's
because
interesting.
Clooney's done a lot more ham stuff, like From Dusk Till Dawn. And
Yeah, that's
everything.
true. That's true.
Yeah, he was just.
And Facts of Life.
And he banged Stacy Keibler.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
yeah.
Kevin Costner's my only favorite role of Kevin Costner was in JFK.
Yeah, that's true.
That was a pretty good one.
It was
yeah,
a fantastic movie. But I see your point.
Yeah, like he's like he hasn't done like I didn't care for the Robin Hood movie too much.
Yeah, that wasn't a good one for
Like
him.
Dances with Wolves, good movie, but
Yeah, it was.
anybody could have played that role.
Yeah,
Anybody could have, but like just Kevin Costner, kind of boring. Like I said, The Perfect World. That was a movie where he played in a convict, an escaped convict who took a little boy under his wing and everything, and he
Neglected little boy.
yeah, he kidnapped him for a ransom at first, but the kid was a Jehovah's Witness and everything who never experienced Christmas or never went to the carnival. So old Kevin Costner took him under his wing and showed him the good life while he was
I
out.
remember that movie.
Yeah, it was a
One
pretty
of the
good flick.
Casper costume.
And Clint Eastwood was in it. One of his, I think he directed it.
Yeah, I think
actually.
he did. Yeah, either that. Yeah.
Yeah, very underestimated movie. Kevin, like I said, Kevin, in my personal opinion, Kevin Costner's best work. But The Bodyguard, okay.
Now,
But
who
the
was
music was good at that, you gotta admit.
Yeah, very excellent for a woman who became such a crackhead. Sorry to say, Quincy, but it's the
she
truth.
was beautiful in that movie.
All right,
She
but
was.
I'm just
She was gorgeous, and she could sing. Nobody could sing like her. Really.
No, I'm a very. I admire her singing
Yeah,
talent.
she really was fantastic.
Quincy, can you sing that Whitney Houston song?
I got the stuff that you want. I got the things that you need. I got more than enough to make you drop on your knees. I am the queen of the night, the night. That was like the theme of that movie.
I got to hand it to you for not singing "I Will Always Love You." Most people would have went for that. You really dug deep into the deep cuts of that movie. My hat's off to you.
Thank you.
Very good.
Fantastic.
Hey, you know who played Kevin Costner's father in The Bodyguard?
No.
Ralph Waite, who was in
Angel City?
Angel City.
In Little House on the Waltons.
The Waltons,
Oh,
right.
yeah, the dad from.
Yeah, he played whatchamacallit's Kevin Costner's dad. In the movie.
And he was also in Cliffhanger with Sylvester Stallone.
True. Yeah, good.
He was the helicopter
And he
pilot.
was in Cool Hand Luke, which I was listening to the theme song to on my way up here tonight because I walked.
Whenever I see Ralph Waite and everything, like I say to myself, do you think if you met Ralph Waite that you could be an asshole to him?
I don't think so.
No,
he
no.
looks like my old man. First of all, he reminds me of my dad.
Like just start bullying him and everything.
That's why I think I got really upset when I was a kid and I watched Cool Hand Luke for the first time, and they did him dirty in the movie, and he started crying.
Right.
And that really broke my heart
Because
as a
he
kid.
had to spend a night in the box.
He had to spend the night in the box, and that's how the other guy took
boy.
advantage of him.
Well, Jeff, you have
Great
a long
movie.
time to wait to meet Ralph Waite because he ain't no longer with us.
Oh, all right. I never knew that, but like he just seems like one of those the nicest guys in one of those nicest, the real nicest guys in show business.
Well, which one of the Walton chicks did you want to bang the most?
Like that sister there. I forget her name.
Well, there were three
one,
sisters on there. Well, forget about the youngest one. We ain't talking about her.
the one who became the nurse and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, Mary Ellen.
Yeah, Mary Ellen. She was always my favorite.
Yeah, that was an Aaron guy. I like
And
that.
see,
Oh, like she was always wearing those tight ass jeans and getting aboard her horse. And I think what really did it for me was
Mount me if you must.
well, her rope belt, like the rope belt she wore really
just like
tight.
Ellie
See,
Ellie
see,
Just
Mae.
like it was before Daisy Duke and everything.
see,
She was tight.
Mary Ellen was beautiful, but I'm a sucker for the girl next door, and Erin had it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I had a
as she
huge
got
crush.
older.
Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
of
when she
course.
was a kid,
But I was kind of the same age when I was a
You
kid.
know.
So of course, my sister used to say, "Oh, you like Elizabeth," and she never did it.
No. Erin, when she was younger on the show, looked like a redheaded alfalfa.
Yeah.
All right. But as she blossomed, like 17, 18 years old, she was.
And there was an episode where she poses for a picture that becomes a pinup.
Oh,
for
I remember that
for
one.
guys in World War II.
And in real life, Judy Norton-Taylor
That's right.
posed for Playboy to get rid of her. Walton
Didn't help her at all, though.
She was a fine looking woman.
Beautiful, but it just didn't do much for her career. I think she thought it was gone, but
No, well, she came back to do several Walton movies.
well, that's true. Hey, stick with what works.
I mean, why did John Boy leave that show? I mean,
Yeah, I know. That was- I
mean,
didn't
seriously,
realize that.
what did? I mean, they had some. I didn't realize that either. I didn't
You
watch.
got me into the Waltons because you said that, and I taped a bunch of them, and I started looking up, and I because I was fascinated that you watched them so much.
Right.
So I started watching them, and I learned out that he left the show and the mother left the show.
Well, yeah, and the storyline with her, she had tuberculosis.
Yeah.
It was out in Arizona.
Yeah. A lot of interesting things happened.
Did I even tell you the story when I met Michael Learned on the street?
Tell me again. 'cause I
Okay.
probably forgot.
Okay. We were down in New York. It was me and the other autograph hounds. We were outside of the Vagina Monologues because they were waiting for
Their vaginas to be delivered.
what was her name?
Dee Dee Khan?
No, it was Dee Dee Khan and who's Marge Simpson? What's the actress?
Oh, Julie Kavner.
Julie
good,
Kavner,
good.
who's a complete see you next Tuesday.
Really?
In real life. So we're standing out there. It was way off Broadway. And I noticed this woman crossing the street. And I'm like, I know that face. And as she got closer and closer, I go, that's Olivia Walton from the Waltons.
Wow.
She walked into a bakery and got bagels. So I went over and waited by the door. And as she came out, I go, excuse me, Miss Lynch. She goes, where the hell did you come from? And I said, I recognize you. And he goes, you have good eyes, young man. And she signed away. So that
Beautiful,
was
beautiful.
That was my story of meeting Olivia Walton.
That's cool.
But yeah, when you met John Boy, you asked him who'd win in a fight. You know, them or the
You're the family over from Little House on the Prairie. And he says, well, I don't think they'd fight.
but
I can see
fascinating.
him saying that too.
Well, you can see it. You can watch it on our YouTube channel. It's on one of South Boston Jeff's Celebrity Stalking.
How did I forget that one? I saw him in public once. He took his mole, he peeled it off his left cheek and put it on his right. Right in front of
Really?
me. Yeah.
So that's how he did
He
it.
said it's a magic mole.
So what was your topic, Bimman? You were texting me
Listen,
earlier.
Yeah, okay. I got to show you guys a picture, and I want to know what you think of it.
Okay.
Because this is a hot topic kind of right now. Things are going a little haywire. Everyone's getting very
It's not
sensitive.
those Barbie things that are going around, are
No,
they?
but it kind of ties into that. So just, you take a look at that.
Okay. All right, I can't see without my Cracker Jill.
Okay.
What
Have you guys heard about this? Cracker Jill?
What is that Cracker Jack's sister?
No, it's the new Cracker Jack. It's the inclusive Cracker Jack.
Really?
Yeah, so there's going to still be Cracker Jack, but now you have to have Cracker Jill.
Well, you know,
So what's so different about it? Is it has more caramel, less caramel?
Cracker Jack has to have a female equivalent.
Exactly now. So this is...
So does that mean
snack's the same, just a different picture?
So does that mean
Yeah.
there's going to be a Burger Queen opening up soon?
It sounds like that's the way we're going. Dairy King.
Let me see that.
Oh, I forgot about that. That is Cracker Jill. You know, I'm okay with this.
You think so?
I mean,
theoretically, the concept, but the effort we put into doing this. Did you show it to Jeff? That's Cracker
Was it?
Jill.
hopefully,
take a look
hopefully,
at it for
Cracker
sure.
Jills will have better prizes than Cracker Jacks.
Well, someone did make a joke that the Cracker Jills have no nuts, which I thought was kind of funny.
Mounds don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts.
You know, forgive me for saying this, but for a woman named Cracker Jill, she certainly looks like a colored woman. I'm sorry. I don't know if you're going to show that picture, but I'm sure anybody that looks at that would agree with me. That actually looks like a black woman.
Yeah, it does. She's a woman of color to boot.
Well, she got purple hair.
Yeah.
See, I'm okay with this.
But okay. Now, I know you guys don't go to a lot of Red Sox games, but in the 7th inning, they sing the song. Take me out to the ball game.
Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jill. Cracker Jill.
I don't care
if I ever get ill.
There we go.
I don't care if it does make me ill.
I don't care if it does make me
Okay,
ill.
let's try it again. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jill. I don't care if I ever get ill. Because it's 1, 2, 3 strikes that you're out at the old ball game.
Quincy, you're always prepared, and
There you go.
But don't you think we're going down a strange road here? I mean, the effort that I said was put into this. To someone to say, geez, we really should do this.
Well, who asked for this?
Nobody.
No, probably nobody,
Honestly,
but they just look at a way to get the Cracker Jack being spoken about.
Honestly, when I think about Cracker Jack, it takes me back like 50 years. I mean,
Yeah, easily.
You get the boxes with the toy in it and whatnot.
what's that? A
They've
Cracker
been
Jack
around
prize?
for over 100 years.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's actually sitting and going, I really need some Cracker Jacks right
Yeah.
now.
Oh, they might just sell a lot of Cracker Jills.
Crunch and Munch is much better, for the record.
Crunch and Munch.
I should have brought some of that up.
What character is in that?
Fiddle Faddle is better than both.
I remember
now
the
we can
Fiddle
argue.
Faddle.
Maybe we should have a taste-off next week. Poppycock, Crunch and Munch, Fiddle Faddle, and Cracker Jack.
What about Cracker Jill? Out yet?
Well, you could probably buy them more.
I mean, are they going to taste the same?
Well, that's how
We're
come
gonna
the
have to find-
taste
I
off.
think we should find out.
I mean, it would probably make more sense if the people who own Cracker Jack just don't have to make anything special. Just put Cracker Jacks and Cracker Jills.
Exactly. but see, everything has to be a statement now.
Okay. I mean, there are some things that I'm, think is ridiculous, but the Cracker Jill ain't bothering me.
No, I'm not saying it's bothered, but I'm just
Yeah.
like, isn't it just weird that we put our efforts into this?
Okay. I
And
mean,
like the whole thing with Bud Light now. Didn't everyone know what was going on with Bud Light beer?
oh, with the trans girl?
Right. Now, I wouldn't have known this was going on if Kid Rock didn't go out and
shoot them.
shoot a bunch of cases of Bud Light.
Right.
I happen to drink Bud Light. I think it's great. When I go out, I have a Bud Light draft. I enjoy it. But now people are boycotting it because they sent a case of Bud Light to a woman who's trans.
Right.
And I'm thinking, what's the big deal? Bud Light
And
has
now
to make
there's
money.
there's rainbows on the cans now too.
Well, there's rainbows on Skittles for years, too, and that doesn't...
Oh yeah.
See, I put my can inside a cool. I just don't want to be carrying a rainbow can.
I have your car all the way to your house, and all you got from me is light beer? And
That's Raising Arizona, isn't it?
No, that's
No, it's
Biff.
Back to the
Oh,
Future.
shit, that's damn it. I'm sorry.
I mean, that doesn't bother me, the Cracker Jill. I mean...
No. And again, I don't want to come off that it's bothersome. I'm just saying it's like, is this going to be a thing now?
Well, all right, so we just made other two examples. Burger Queen
Right.
and Dairy King.
Is that going to be it? And
I mean, it would be kind of funny seeing a Burger King face off against a Burger Queen on a highway. Who would you go to?
Well, let's see. I think an ice
that's a
cream.
good question.
Well, the answer is, who has the shortest line?
Well, there you go. That's true.
Well, let's see. during lunch hour, people are hungry for good dessert, so a Dairy Queen.
I mean, this goes back. There was Playboy and Playgirl.
That's true.
So
But I just think that the effort right now is like, well, we got to do something. But do you have to? Do you have to?
you don't have to.
No.
But I maybe that's a subject we can do on a couple episodes. Just come up with a list of names that are going to have to come up with different names.
I still think we should do the taste off too. Poppycock, fiddle faddle.
Do they even still have it?
Oh, they have all that stuff.
Okay, well,
Can you eat any of that?
I'll sure again.
There we go. We'll try that next week.
Peanut brittle is my favorite.
Peanut brittle. I like the old. Remember the Planters bars?
Yes.
Those, they don't see those anymore.
My favorite peanut brittle was the kind that my grandfather used to get in parking lots.
Well, parking lot peanut brittle
Well,
cannot
do
be.
you know that's a true thing? We used to go shopping many moons ago to shopping plazas around here in the Boston area, and on weekends, I don't know if they were farmers or just weirdos, but they would come knocking on your window, see someone. My grandfather never went into stores; he always sat in the
Waited,
car
yeah.
and waited for his wife, my
That's old
grandmother,
school, yeah.
and just sit there and smoke his Pall Malls and listen to the radio. And I was in the car with him a couple times. It was raining, and they're knocking on the door, and he was rolling the window down. What do you want? And he goes, and I got peanut brittle, and it was like you want some TC? It was the stuff that you would get at farm stands. It was wrapped in the cellophane, and it cost like a couple. It cost like a couple bucks.
I bet it was good.
And it was great.
Yeah.
And parking lot peanut brittle was awesome. Yeah. I mean,
Bring that back.
parking lot peanut brittle.
Parking lot peanut brittle.
All right, so someone out there is probably going to make a fortune now doing this for that idea.
Yeah, so, that recipe has probably been sitting in this old guy's cabinet with dust on it for years, and he's like, "Oh, I'll make you some peanut brittle. I'm going to make $1 million too."
It was probably the Moonies selling it.
The Moonies,
Yeah.
well, they're Irish.
what's the Moody's?
It's a cult. Reverend Sun Young Moon.
You ever gone to an airport and seen the Hare Krishnas? They don't have them there anymore. Remember in the 70s?
Can't remember the last time I saw it.
I actually, I will admit, I was a youngster, and I was there picking up relatives from Ireland, and my cousins did buy some soup off the Hare Krishnas.
Yeah,
It wasn't bad.
They weren't hurtful
It
people.
was a little spicy, but it wasn't bad.
So what is it? They just go out and moon people? Is that what it is?
Yes, that's what they do.
Yeah, that's why they wear robes, so they can
Yeah,
pull up so easy.
Yeah, easy access to the moons, okay?
Quick mooning.
The moon.
So if you go into a store and you see Cracker Jacks and Cracker Jills, which one are you going to buy?
Cracker Jills.
Ooh, okay, that's good to know.
I'm curious now. I'm going to go and try to find some of this
Yeah,
stuff.
they're out there.
I guarantee you it's just Cracker Jacks in a different package.
Well, that's the whole idea,
Yeah.
but it's like they're changing because Cracker Jack was just too non-inclusive. Everything's got to be inclusive now.
What are they? You could have called it Cracker Jackie.
Cracker Jacqueline.
Yeah, Cracker Jackie.
Jacqueline Cracker.
I love Jacqueline Smith. Did I tell you that?
I mean, we've heard.
Okay.
Well, you gotta wish them the very best of luck on this stuff.
So there you go. That's topic number one.
Okay, and I had another one I wanted to talk about. And this is a tough. I want to ask Jeff what he thinks of this.
All right, shoot.
Before you showed up tonight, you ever hear of Cart Narcs?
Cart Narcs?
Cart Narcs, as they say in Boston.
I'm sorry, no, it's not ringing any bells here.
This is a young man from Falmouth, Massachusetts. This is
Falmouth, Massachusetts.
Agent Sebastian, he calls himself, of the Cart Narcs. And what he does is he goes out to supermarkets with a GoPro camera, and he has one of those lighted wands you'd see at the airport where they're flagging planes in.
Yeah.
And if he sees you putting your groceries into the car and then pushing your shopping cart over to the left or the right and just getting in the car and drive away, he stops you and asks you why you're not returning your shopping cart to the corral. And a lot of
We just saw one.
and the woman was just, she was apoplectic. She was so angry at him that he had the nerve to stop her. But he's trying to say, these carts, they blow around the shopping, the mall, they hit cars. People can't pull into spaces, handicapped people, because these carts are left out on the open. You should take your cart back to the corral and leave it there.
Okay, so that's why he's the Cart Narc.
Yes.
Cart Narc.
And if you start driving away, he throws a magnet on your car. And that's when people get really pissed. Like, don't touch my stuff. The four-letter words are flying. The anger, it's incredible.
Now,
You
for
gotta
the
check it.
record, I always bring my shopping carriages back to the corral.
And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to be honest with you. I never did.
Really?
Until I started watching this. He changed me.
I mean, because as a youngster, I had a job pushing carriages at a local supermarket.
Everybody did.
Yeah, I did
Everybody
too.
did.
And
And it was honestly, well, obviously that was your job to get them, and they didn't have cart carousels back in
Right,
the day.
you had to go get them and bring them in.
But when I see these kids out there, or these elderly people that are working to make a couple bucks,
Yeah.
I always put it back in the carriage
Sure.
corral
Yeah.
because it's just. And I learned it from that movie Terminal with Tom Hanks. Remember, he was locked in the airport for like 100 years,
Yeah.
and the only way he could make money was he brought the carts back to the carousels, and they
that's
would
right.
pay you.
Maybe that's what. Maybe you get a dime every time you return a car. So, but they also have something on. When I used to work at Flanagan's in Southie, they would say, "Okay, Ricky, you got to go out on a buffalo herd, a buffalo roundup." You know what that is? That's when you go around the neighborhood and you look for the carts that people have taken off property and left, and you got to put them in the back of the van.
Yeah, I've done that too for the local super.
Yeah, I was just going to say, weren't you the co-pilot on one of those trucks?
Yes, I was. Yeah.
And you can hear them going back, all the time.
Yeah, well, yeah. Like I don't have that bad shoulder muscles because of that and everything. It very big workout for a 16-year-old.
Yeah. So when we had to go find those carts in the neighborhood, it wasn't the best.
No, especially during the winter, pulling frozen carts out of the snowbanks and stuff like that.
Now, I have a story about a friend of ours, of Jeff and I. His name is Dennis. I'm not going to say his last name.
Okay.
Dennis has a really thick Boston accent, all right? And Dennis, when he was about 14 years old, worked at the local supermarket. And you had to take all the carriages. Now, he was there the day. I was working there when he was working there. And the manager of the place, a guy by the name of Tony, said, you got to hustle out there. You got to hustle out there.
Yeah.
So Dennis, on his first day at work, he's like, all right, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to collect all the carriages. So he went out there literally and tried to collect all the carriages. And there was a long line of carriages that went from the front of the supermarket across the street, and all of a sudden they just started to break and go in different directions. So I will never forget this as long as I live. I'm sitting there watching this 14-year-old kid going, hey, TC, I'm going to push all these fucking carriages in. And then they all just started going, fuck. And they started hitting these things. And he goes, fuck this. And he quit.
Oh.
He worked there for 17 minutes.
Yeah, he has the record. The record at this supermarket for the shortest time worked.
Wow.
17 minutes because he literally tried to bring in all the shopping carriages at one time.
And he could have broke a record, man.
And to this day, when you bring it up, don't fucking bring that up, all right? Just don't fucking bring it up, all right? I was 14 years old and they told me to bring in all the fucking carriages. So I was doing my fucking job.
He did what they said.
Doing my fucking job.
So what do you think? What do you think? Now, Quincy and I were talking about this earlier, and you don't like this now. You don't like this topic, do you?
Well, we know why.
The girl, I'll have to take the girl's side. They pay some of that shit, so but the guy just wouldn't leave the girl alone. She wouldn't. The guy went on to the girl for like 5 minutes, and that's all the girl was gonna take.
So let's give a little
I
backstory.
say if he wants to be a carriage knock and everything, all power to him because somebody's gonna get sick of his guff and everything and sock him one. Just like
a guy pulled a gun on him one time.
Oh boy, yeah. I mean, you see how these videos To Catch a Predator, where they're like they're.
What are you doing here tonight?
Yeah, like where they're tracking down these these child molesters who go to these supermarkets to hook up with kids, and they get caught on camera and everything. And
That's bad. I've seen those.
I watched a marathon To Catch a Predator on a flight to Florida once, and I was just laughing the entire way down.
Isn't it just pathetic? I mean, what do they think? Come on, guys.
I mean, we have the transcript right here. You're saying you want to meet a 13-year-old boy.
Yeah. How old did he say he was?
How old?
22. And clear. Hey man, I'm 13. The first thing out of his mouth. Hey man, I'm 13.
And sir, how old are you?
Yeah.
Oh, you're 42.
Yeah.
And
what are you doing here?
You come over to play video games?
I was just hanging out. He needs somebody to mentor him. I'm gay too, and I felt like I needed to point him in the right direction. What do you bring the condoms for? I always have them. That's the answer every time. I always have them. I always carry them.
You're free to go.
Yeah.
And of course, as soon as they walk outside, the cops are freeze.
I like the guy. If you listen to Chris, what's his name?
Oh, geez, you put me on the spot here.
To Catch a Predator. Chris Hansen. If you listen to his podcast, he plays these audio clips from these people, and you hear the David Kay, the Jewish rabbi. I know I'm in trouble, and you know I'm in trouble. That's what he says. And then there's the other guy going, and he goes, I have been in the industry for this many years, and I have never been so dumbfounded. And the kid goes, he was at a McDonald's. The day after they caught him, he's at a McDonald's trying to hook up with a 13-year-old boy, and he goes, "Sir, I was just coming to get something to eat." And he goes, "The next day, I was just coming to get something to eat."
I'm surprised none of those people have come back and tried to whack Chris Hansen.
He calls them all. He's very, he called a few guys, and they say, "Don't call his number no more."
But getting back to this, Quincy, the reason you are siding with the woman in that video with the carriage guy is every week you go down to a local supermarket. No, okay, and you bring a carriage back.
Why do you have to do this? Make trouble.
Well, you're not going to get in trouble.
No, it's not trouble at all.
I hope not.
No. I want to make it clear. Nobody's in trouble.
I hope not.
Everybody does this.
That's what I said, word for word.
Right.
Everyone does it.
All I'm saying is, does that make it right? That's all.
Yeah.
Well, in Quincy's defense, when he brings the carriage back, he conveniently puts it in an alley.
Right.
And there is a guy who works for the local supermarket who comes down here every week because he knows there's going to be one there. So he's making a buck off of it.
Yeah.
So in a way, Quincy is contributing to the economy.
Okay.
Well, number one, you're buying a whole lot of stuff there. So people.
I agree.
And you don't have and you do not drive.
Nope. So everyone if they live just like maybe 3 or 4. All right, but you know what? On the other hand, they're buying $20 worth of whatever it is they buy from these places.
Milk,
okay.
$20 worth of milk.
Some people probably will. Well, it gets heavy, so you know what? They'll pour it in the carriage, take it home, and that's it.
I thought something was going to come up.
That's it. So
let me ask you this. Because I used to live in Malden, and there was a lady that lived in my building. And she would come back, and she'd leave the shopping cart right in front of the stairs. Now, in your home, if you come out every morning and there was a shopping cart in front of your gate, wouldn't that bother you a little bit?
Well, my grandmother used to do that.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's wrong or that I don't like the people who do it, but doesn't it kind of
no,
it wouldn't bother you?
Well, one thing that bothers me about shopping carriages?
What?
Every single time I go to any store that has a shopping carriages, one of them has a bum wheel.
Well, that's true.
Well, the wheels wear out, though.
Because people are pushing them through the neighborhoods.
Yeah, they're putting through potholes every time. So I have you to blame then, huh? Every time I go to one of these stores, I always have a wheel that spins around or goes, and it makes the shopping experience very uncomfortable.
See, back in the old days, the shopping carts never left the building.
Because they had that big pole.
That, and they had the big carriage that remember back in Flanagan's days, they used to put the bags, there was 2 shelves, and you could put 10 grocery bags in this thing, and you tilted it back on 2 wheels, and you'd push them out to the car, and you'd fill the person's car, and I used to get 50 cents, a buck, 75 cents. At the end of the week, I'd have $74 in change. It was good coin back in the day.
Good coin back in the day. But yeah, someone became smart. They put those poles so you could only go, as far as the door of the store, and you had to bring your car up front, and then you had to put the bags in there.
In Malden Stop and Shop, there's magnets that when the cart goes a certain, and the magnets lock, and you can't push it beyond the driveway.
Really?
Yep. Try it sometime. I used to sit there and watch people do it, and it would piss them off to no end because the cart just doesn't move anymore.
Right. I just hate the bum wheel, Quincy. Though, if you're the one that's contributing to these things by taking over cobblestone sidewalks and potholed streets and whatnot, you're giving the cart industry a bad name. They're like lemons. Those hunk of junk cars. There should be a lemon law for carriages.
Yeah, but then the people who repair them,
who repairs them? Is there a Midas for shopping carriages?
Yeah.
There's a Chinaman over in Lynn. He fixes them.
Really?
Yeah, someone that gets paid X amount of dollars for preventive maintenance that does that kind of thing.
Preventive maintenance on shopping carriages.
Yep.
The Chinaman does it.
They do, I've seen it many times, they do. Someone,
all right.
When they make a phone call, when there's that X amount of carriages that doesn't work anymore, there needs to be at least 50 to 75 carriages that doesn't work. So they'll call someone, they'll come in with the parts, and they'll spend a couple of hours there, take these things apart, put new wheels on them, and take a bomb, that's short for spray bomb, and then...
Okay.
And then, and after a couple of hours,
so you tell me, the young kids right now listening to this podcast can go to a vocational school and learn to become a mechanic for shopping carriages.
If they really want to, if they put their minds to it, I think all it is just a case of worn out wheels, ball bearings in the and then that's it. Now, and then
It's all ball bearings.
Yeah,
it's all ball
Ball
bearings.
bearings these days.
well, depending on the wheel,
I think it's the bypass line, Quincy, myself.
but wheels do wear out after a while on these things. So they'll have like 75.
So you're waiting, you're waiting for the hover carriages, the ones that float.
Well, there you go. You can't go wrong with a hover carriage.
Well, you'd love it.
You have to figure out how they're going to make a hover carriage.
Well,
and
I'm sure they're working on it somewhere right now.
Yeah.
then
I'm already figuring how to misuse a hover carriage, how to go down the side of a mountain in a
you'd
hover
have to
carriage.
be real careful if you do a hover carriage. You can't crash
Okay,
it.
as long as we're on the same brain waves here. My favorite thing I ever saw in a shopping carriage. Remember when they pushed Rufus the stunt bum?
Oh, yeah.
Downstairs and into a McDonald's drive-through menu.
Yeah, it's very it didn't go very well, but it's just it's just something you don't believe you're seeing when you look at it.
And we saw it.
Our Rufus?
No, not that Rufus. The Rufus.
Oh, okay.
No, that's the homeless Rufus.
Rufus Lincoln.
life, forever.
We're talking about Rufus from bum fights.
Oh, Jesus. I remember
Rufus the stunt bum.
Yeah, Rufus the stunt bum.
That was sad. Good TV, though. I gotta admit.
It was fantastic
Yeah, it
TV,
was.
but every time I think of a shopping carriage, I always think of what they did with Rufus.
Now, for me personally, as long as we're swapping shopping cart stories, at the local shopping center, we're not going to say any names because we all worked here. Whenever, when I worked there, you started out pushing shopping carriages, and then I was eventually promoted to bagging groceries, and then to the produce department. But while I was bagging groceries, there was this unfortunate this poor retarded guy named Alan, and he used to he'd run up and offer to help you to unload the
Oh, yeah.
Wait a minute. I know Alan.
Oh yeah, of course you do.
know was
He's a
Alan-
local celebrity.
Was Alan the one who choked his chick into a flagpole?
Yeah. He could be seen choking his chicken in all kinds of places.
Okay, all right. So
Suddenly the people that don't return their cards don't look so bad.
Yeah, for a while he was making a few bucks for himself. He had if he seen a person with a lot of groceries, he'd run up and start
his
taking
chicken.
start helping the people with the groceries, start taking unloading them, and they give
he
him
was
a
unloading,
buck
all
or
right.
two, give him a buck or two, my mother even, and she was giving him a couple of bucks, and I was like, Ma, don't let that guy touch the groceries. She's like, well, why not? He's a poor soul. And I explained to her why, and after that, she started swinging her pocketbook at him. Get out. But Alan could, he was this little guy with big Coke bottle glasses.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, and he would love it when there would be a fire and the fire engines would go off.
Well, they needed his hose.
Yeah.
Well, the rumor has it that he had quite a big one.
I heard from a local politician, I'm not going to mention who,
Okay.
said, one morning I was walking into work and I saw Alan saluting the flag with his baby arm.
Good Lord.
All right.
Baby, his baby arm. Oh, okay.
Was it holding an apple?
Yeah, the Lord works in mysterious ways.
He does indeed. I miss Alan. I don't think Alan's with us anymore.
If he was, I think you would still see him
He'd be
down
on this podcast right now.
Yeah.
He had a voice like that.
Hey, how you doing?
Jesus.
Was he Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, but he could often be seen in the men's room at the supermarket, taking his horse out for a gallop.
Punching the clown.
I saw a lot of things in the supermarket. I never saw that.
20 items
You
or
okay?
less.
Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah.
All right,
It
quick.
was just, all it was a discussion.
That's all. Yeah, good.
We're not framing you, and we're not going to call. We're not going to call.
'Cause I'm going to tell you what I do, and I'm not proud of it.
Good. So we'll leave it.
Here's what I do.
We'll leave it alone.
But no, I'll tell you, this is something I do that you might have an issue with. I go to Whole Foods, right, and I buy cold cuts, and I steal the mayonnaise and the mustard that they put out for people who buy sandwiches. So I don't really buy mayonnaise and mustard that much in my house. I'm stealing it.
Well, that's if you're less fortunate. Well, then
I wouldn't call it less fortunate. I'd call it thrifty.
Yeah, exactly.
They're free.
and that doesn't make it right.
They're
That's
free.
What I'm saying. Yeah.
They're free.
They're free, but technically, I'm taking it to, I mean, granted, I say to myself, well, I spent so much in the cold cuts there. I should be allowed to take that.
Just think, if someone else didn't do that, Paulie and Christopher would have starved to death in the Pine Barrens episode of The Sopranos.
Mix it with the relish.
Right.
Mix the mustard with the relish.
See? So I'm just saying, there's people, everybody
some
does
shoes.
Everybody does a little thing.
yeah. So
I knew a guy who was a deacon at the church. He used to steal candy bars from a blind guy in the subway. I saw him do it, and he was a deacon at the church. That's
there you
worse.
go.
That's worse than the shopping cart and the mustard, if you ask me.
Oh, yeah.
we all have our downfalls, but we'll try to fix them. So
That's what I
we're
was
not
trying to
gonna
get.
kick a person when they're down. Okay.
Doesn't make us bad people, is what I'm trying
No.
to say.
So maybe we should just leave well enough
All
alone.
right, I won't bring it up again.
Yeah. We don't want to.
We're still friends, right?
Yeah. But we don't want to have enemies calling up saying like,
Now, Quincy, you made your choice. Would you like the metal carriages or the plastic carriages?
metal,
Yeah, me too.
plastic. They just don't hold as long. You know,
They break in the winter.
Or as our good friend Mario called the buggy.
the buggy
He calls them the buggies instead of the carriages.
metal because they last longer. They take abuse. Then you can put stuff in them. And
They last forever.
you can take it to wherever it is you need. Then reuse it again. And then especially if you don't, someone who doesn't have a car. You can't knock the person for not driving.
Yeah.
So you know what?
You know what I'd like to add? Do you know what a famous celebrity actually collects shopping carts for a living? Billy Redden, the banjo boy from Deliverance.
Really?
Yes, he's actually a shopping cart boy at a Walmart in real life.
Really?
Wow.
He must get stopped all the time.
Yeah, maybe and everything.
He
but
looks
he's
the same.
He does. He's a very simple guy, very friendly guy. Yeah,
Now I'm gonna have one final question about the carriages, and I'm gonna leave it alone, Quince. Okay?
We'll try.
I'm gonna ask this question. Have you ever taken a shopping carriage with a kid in it?
No.
There we go.
All right, that's it. That's all I want.
That's good.
We're done with carriages.
Yeah.
Good.
I know look at the wheels turning. We hit a soft spot here with old Quincy.
I didn't know I could take the ones with the kids.
I was asked to watch a kid once, because someone trusted me with the kids.
Someone made you a babysitter?
for about 2 minutes.
Oh, well, it's long enough. It's 2 minutes too long. But what did you do? How did you entertain this child?
Sat there, just
Sleight of hand.
said, "Hey, what's up?" And the kid loved it. And then
Did he talk back to you?
yeah, and then baby talk, with and all that,
Did you quote Hooper to him?
yeah.
I was born ready.
And that's about it. And then the parent came back, and then
That's nice.
Now, did you know these people, or did just some random stranger said, "Excuse me,
Yeah,
sir"?
where are these people? Because I think
will
we
you
need
watch
to
my
call
kid?
them.
Like, sure.
Well, where did they go for 2 minutes? That they couldn't bring their kid.
Out to their car to get whatever it is they forgot. Or
So they went out to their vehicle and left their child with a total stranger.
yeah,
You have a
knowing-
trusting face.
Yeah, knowing that I would be real good with the kid, for a couple of minutes, and that's it. And the kid just had the time of their life with me, and then the parent came back. "Oh, thank you." I was like, "Oh, you're welcome."
You didn't charge them?
Nope.
Why not? You were providing a service.
Well, it was a couple of minutes, and there was what you call one of those priceless moments.
It was a priceless moment.
Yeah,
Was it a Kodak moment?
I guess you could call it that.
And how many times has this happened?
Just once.
Just one time.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't.
Want to hear a story along those lines?
Sure.
I was at a con. I went there to meet Butch Patrick. I think I might have told you the story. And I'm walking around. This kid, he's about 10 years old, comes up to me and says, "Excuse me, mister, will you do me a favor? I can't find my father." Now, this is before cell phones. So I'm like, oh, my God. I said, "What does he look like?" And he's trying to describe it. I'm looking around, and I said, all right. So I look, in the security desk now is over by the entrance to the Shriners Hall.
Oh, I know exactly where it is.
Up in Wilmington.
Yep.
So, thank God I had the foresight. I started to think, all right, if I take this little kid with me and start walking towards the entrance and I get seen, what's going to happen? Exactly. So I said to the kid, I said, "Look, you got to do me a favor. I want you to stand right here. I'm going to go talk to the policeman, and he's going to come over and talk to you, but you can't move from this spot, okay? And the kid's, he's nervous. And he says, okay. So I go over and I explain this to the cop, and the cop goes, you're a very smart dude. He follows me over, and that was it. I was done with the kid. And then later I saw him with his father, and the kid pointed to me, and the father says, thank you so much for helping my son. I said, no, it's fine. But imagine they make a walk. If I didn't think of that,
Right.
I'd have the kid by the hand going over to the door with my Butch Patrick T-shirt on.
You've got an amber list right now.
Exactly.
Or amber warning.
This was good.
This was fantastic. I'm very...
Bodyguards.
Did you have... Someone had a request here, so I'll try to answer. We were talking a little bit about Johnny Cash, and someone wanted to write an article.
I'm going to write it for you, and we're going to record it next week.
So what is it that you're looking to get done here?
I want you to imitate Johnny Cash. Hi, I'm Johnny Cash, and
Hey,
you're
I'm
listening
Johnny
to Ricky
Cash.
Bidman's Jukebox.
I'm Johnny Cash,
You're
and I'm
listening-
here to entertain you folk, and something like that. Is that
However you do it is what we're going to use.
Quincy, you know what Johnny Cash did before he became a big-time musician?
what was that?
He pushed carriages.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to start somewhere. But if you work hard enough, if you want to write song, be a singer, then that's what you're going to do. And
I
then
close my eyes, and Johnny Cash is sitting right across from me.
And I'm Johnny Cash, and here,
And you're not even wearing black.
E.T.'s here, and we're all friends.
so
we
we
in last
will
week's
come back
podcast or
to you. We will be coming back to you very soon here, ladies and gentlemen. So for now, I'll have to say goodnight, and get my vocal cords lubricated because I got to go.
Why don't you do that? I'm getting a note through my earpiece. We have to go to a big-time commercial break
Okay.
for our good friend, Captain Dave Marciano at AngelicaSeafoods.com.
Nice.
Do you love seafood? Hi, I'm Captain Dave Marciano, and I want to invite you to check out our new website, AngelicaSeafoods.com. Now you can get fresh local seafood shipped overnight from Gloucester's fishing families to yours. AngelicaSeafoods.com, the finest, freshest seafood New England has to offer.
From the boat to your door, get Angelica Seafood's premium seafood, sustainably caught and packaged at angelicaseafoods.com.
All righty, welcome back from that big-time commercial break. Captain Dave Marciano, the star of Wicked Tuna, and of course now has his own fishery restaurant delivery service, AngelicaSeafoods.com. Visit them on the World Wide Web.
Good stuff.
During the commercial break, we were now joined by Colonel Bull, the Bodyguard, Montana. I mean, a lot of people are commenting on your uninterrupted visit last week where you just barged the stage after you were mulling around the studio. It's been 7 days. Colonel Bull Montana. I mean, I haven't heard from Aunt Petunia. I know she was threatening to, do something to you, Ricky Bittman, and you were going to sue her or something.
Yeah, she's bouncing off on Twitter. And I said, well, if that's the way you're going to go, I'll call my lawyers.
And then she talked about some pictures from the damp napkin.
Yeah, then I backed off.
Do you want to comment on those pictures?
You think I'm crazy?
Yeah, but I mean,
Remember the woman that played Mrs. Garrett on Facts of Life?
you mean Charlotte Ray?
Yeah. Well,
Whoa! I know you had a thing for fiery redheads.
listen, she was in there one night and she asked for it. She got it.
You were talking about Erin from the Waltons earlier.
Yeah, well, she wasn't there that night. Sometimes you just got to take what's on the menu.
Kind of like what you're going to find at a Burger Queen.
At a Burger Queen or a Dairy King.
So did you have some facts of life with Charlotte Ray?
She taught me the facts of life.
Really?
She's a good woman.
She's dead,
I know. Well, she wasn't that night.
Right.
She got a nice big ass. You could hit her with a car aerial.
You take the good, you take the bad, huh?
Yeah.
You take the both, and they have.
She took the bad.
I wish Blair did that to me, but that's a different story for a different time. Now, have you, Colonel Bull Montana? I'm going to call you Colonel Bull. I'm calling you Bodyguard, and you, Ricky Bittman. Have this been? Why am I sounding like Tweaky all of a sudden? I don't know what that was.
I thought I was having a stroke.
I think I was having a stroke there. Peace. Have you made peace?
Oh, we made peace last week.
You did.
But see, I think what happens is Aunt Petunia gets the wooden spoon out and she starts stirring stuff up.
She kind of reminds me of Mrs. Garrett a little.
Yeah, exactly. I'm out of my Mrs. Garrett phase. Let's just make that clear right now.
Okay, well, this was a long time ago. She wasn't even Mrs. Garrett then, huh?
No. She called herself Peggy that night.
She goes, Peggy.
Yeah. And I said, listen, I don't do that.
You know there's an actress named Peggy Ray?
Peggy Ray. No, I didn't.
You know who she was?
No.
Lulu Hogg on the Dukes of Hazzard, Boss's wife.
That's right. How did I forget that one?
I honestly don't
How'd
know.
you remember that one? Peggy Ray, okay.
She was also on the Waltons.
Peggy Ray.
Oh, she was.
She took over for Olivia when she left.
Poor old Peggy Ray.
All right, so Colonel, everything between you two is copacetic now.
Of course.
But I've heard some rumblings from people. I told you I was going to have people follow you. That you and Petunia were still back up to your old tricks again. You were tripping people and you were distracting people so Aunt Petunia could do some dastardly deed things.
Well, I put it this way. I was walking. So I took it. I bumped into a gentleman.
Oh, you just bumped into him, huh?
Yep.
With your elbow?
With your cane? I mean,
No, I just bumped into him.
Sorry.
oh my goodness, over there. We're back to the shop. Quincy's going to explode somewhere. You said shopping carriage one more time. So you know what? I've come to the conclusion, Bull. If it doesn't involve me or Restani Productions in any way, I honestly don't care what you and Petunia do. All right?
Okay.
You can rob banks. You can hijack aircraft. I honestly don't care. All right? But I don't want to get a phone call at 3 a.m. from our attorney saying that you did something under the Restani Productions banner.
Don't push people down and go, we
Okay.
never close.
Yeah.
You don't kick a person when they're down.
Right. You don't kick Quincy and the Peanut Gal. You don't kick a person down. So, Bull, I understand that you are, like we said last week, you're under an exclusive contract with AP, and whatever you guys do, I don't care.
Well, I wanted between Aunt Petunia, I want to come back on the show, right on this show.
You're on the show right now. What are you talking about? What? What the hell are you talking about?
I'm going to talk about some people that we know that is harassing me and a lot of people around here.
Who? You were the one who were harassing somebody. Who's harassing you?
Well, I don't know who it was.
You just said you wanted to mention names.
I don't know who it was, but people keep on bothering me. Not down here. When I walk around town, I'm going to tell you something. I'm ready. Say that to me again. I'm going to punch you in the mouth.
Who?
Not you guys. I don't know.
We understand that. We've established that, but obviously it's somebody because you're mad at them. So who?
I don't know who it is.
You don't know who it is, but you're mad at them.
Like,
Do we know who it is?
Yeah. What do they look like?
Is it Doctor Who? I mean, who are we talking about here?
It's Woodsy Owl.
Some strangers.
Some strangers.
Is it that fella they call Rabbit?
No.
So some stranger is bothering you.
Yep.
Now, how many times has this stranger bothered you?
About 10 times.
So he's more than a stranger now. He's kind of like an acquaintance.
Yep.
But you don't know who this person is.
No.
And where is this taking place?
Right on Main Street somewhere.
On Main Street somewhere with someone you don't know.
Right.
Okay. Are you sure you're not having any of Jeff's little brownies from earlier?
No.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Okay. Because this makes total sense to some people out there, but does it make any sense to you, Ricky?
Unless it was Michael Vale from the Dunkin' Donuts next door. I don't know.
No, it wasn't.
Time to make the donuts.
Okay, Colonel. This episode has made a lot of weird things have come to light during this episode. We know Quincy's distaste for shopping carriages because of the incidents he's done.
And plus, I did a couple of bad incidents too.
Like what? Like what?
Not talking the right way, because sometimes if I get mad, I use the
bull charge.
filthy, rotten language.
Oh, okay.
Filthy, rotten language.
The sailor talk.
Well, you do live near the ocean, so it's kind of acceptable, Bull.
Yeah.
I mean,
Ahoy.
yeah, chips ahoy. Okay. Well, this has been an unbelievable episode of the After Hours of TC Restani, the podcast. And I want to thank you, Colonel, for making an appearance again. The fans out there who are curious to know what happened in the last 7 days, and you made it perfectly clear. I mean, I don't think you can make it any more clearer.
Keep your eyes peeled.
It would be transparent if it was any more clear, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, good for you. And Quincy Briscoe, come on over here and say goodbye to your fans over there. Use the microphone. I know you got to sip your milk. The dairy industry will go out of business if you would die.
All right, well.
Talk into the microphone. There's one right there. You can share bowls.
Well, as usual, I'll say thank you for watching, and we hope you've enjoyed this very exclusive episode.
It was exclusive.
And we hope you'll join us again next week. So thank you for watching. Please drive home carefully.
And watch out for those shopping carriages.
And watch out for those shopping carriages.
Keep your eyes peeled for Cracker Jill.
Keep your eyes peeled for Cracker Jill.
Where are the jackasses? They ride shopping carts.
The Jill asses, you mean?
Oh.
And Jill asses.
Excuse me.
And Dairy Kings and Burger Queens. And we hope to see you again soon. Thank you for watching. Drive home carefully and good night.
We never close.
Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after.